Now, the UK Climate Minister, who recently stated not all fossil fuels were the spawn of the devil, has allegedly received campaign donations from one of the largest fuel distributors and an aviation consultant and recruiter in the country. Stuart, Conservative MP for Beverley and Holderness, who was appointed the Climate Minister by Rishi Sunak in September, received £10,000, which is roughly $12,000, donation towards his re-election campaign from J.R. Ricks & Sons. Now, this Hull-based business is primarily involved in the distribution and sale of fuel, including heating oil, diesel and petrol. Stuart, who had a responsibility for net zero strategy and low carbon generation in the country, claimed that a fresh round of oil and gas licensing are good for the environment, and more recently stated that not all fossil fuels should be viewed as the spawn of the devil. In addition to the $12,000 that Stuart received and another roughly estimated $2,000 from Boston Air, which is an aviation consultant, the revelation, which is a matter of public record, came shortly after Stuart told the all-party parliamentary group for the environment that he firmly supported a new coal mine in Cumbria and backed the latest oil and gas licensing round. The government further added that Stuart had publicly declared the donations for election expenses in line with usual processes. During all the revelations, a government spokesman said that it is not uncommon for ministers to receive donations in their capacity as MPs, and there are established processes to deal with conflicts of interest. Now, for more on this, our correspondent Alex Izad has sent us this report from London. Take a look at what she has to say.
It looks like the UK Climate Minister has got himself into hot water again. Stuart is responsible for net zero strategy and low carbon generation, but his ethics have already been questioned when he claimed that a fresh round of oil and gas licensing is good for the environment, and that not all fossil fuels should be viewed as a spawn of the devil. Now, it's emerged that in 2019, Stuart received a £10,000 donation towards his re-election campaign from J.R. Ricks & Sons. Now, they're primarily involved in the distribution of sale of fuel, including heating oil, diesel and petrol. And they're also involved in the maintenance of offshore wind farms and carbon measurement. And they're developing capabilities in low-energy lighting, solar and electric vehicle charging. Now, in addition to this money, Stuart also received a £10,000 donation from Boston Air. They're an aviation consultant, and they said that 95% of its sales are in overseas markets. So the UK climate policy does not affect its business. And the government has said that Stuart had publicly declared the donations for election expenses in line with usual processes. These donations, which is a matter of public record, come shortly after Stuart told an all-party parliamentary group for the environment that he firmly supported the new coal mine in Cumbria, and that's despite saying that he'd redouble efforts to reduce greenhouse gases and that climate change is a global issue and will only have success if we work together. Seems Mr. Stuart can't keep track of his own climate promises. This is Alex Izad for WION. World is One.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.